So thank you everyone for your time today. Thank you for joining the webinar. I know everyone has busy schedules, so definitely want to make the most of everyone's time here today. As you can see on the screen, today we chose the topic of increasing productivity of your business with Sage Field Operations. And from my understanding, it sounds like the teammates that are on today are using Sage 100 Contractor. They're really helping maximize your 100 Contractor investment and start modernizing that process between the field and the back office. So let's get started here. So again, in this webinar, we'll be talking about how to improve that productivity and some of the areas that can help your business on the day-to-day operations. We hear it all the time, and I know there's many different challenges out there in the field, but productivity being one of them. A lot of the contractors we work with, they all have their systems that have gotten them this far and this successful in the space today. But there are better ways of improving and optimizing and modernizing the current staff with the team today. So quick introduction here. My name is Eric Diaz. I'm part of the Sage Field Operations team. I've been in the Sage family for over 5 years now. So very familiar with your day-to-day operations and how the software works. And I'll leave it to Tiffany, who will be walking through the demo, to give a quick intro before I give a little bit more information.
Okay. So today we're going to go over just a very high level. Keep in mind what I'm going to show you today is going to be what the software can do, but the software can do so much more than what I'm going to show you today. Everybody's time is valuable. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I am the onboarding consultant here at Oprex for the Sage 100 product. So just to let you know, the software is completely web-based. So the benefit of this software is that you can access it anywhere that you have an internet browser and access to the internet. So a phone, a tablet, a laptop. So that's one of the great things with our software. Also, we fully integrate with your Sage 100. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Okay, so Amy, can you see my screen?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Select a tab, window, attach. There we go. I'm not used to the webinars.
And I think, again, having some technical issues on the sound here, but thanks for the intro there, Tiffany. Okay, it sounds like we're going to go through the product itself. No problem.
Okay, so here we have the web-based portal. With this software, we can create work orders, we can dispatch work orders, we can access location information, track equipment history. That's on the work order side. On the construction side, we can dispatch projects at our time via cost codes, pay groups, and phases. All of that data syncs immediately with Sage 100. So here, again, we are a web-based platform. So over on the left, I have some work orders. So if you wanted to dispatch a work order to a particular field tech, you can just take that work order, drag and drop. This is what we call creating an assignment. We have assigned that work order to that technician. When the technician signs into their phone, tablet, or laptop, they're going to see their schedule for that day. I have a work order. Here's my client. Here's my address, my scheduled start and end time. If I click on the client information, I can see site location history as well as equipment history. All of this data is fed back and forth with Sage 100. So this gives us great visibility within the field for the technician to say, okay, yes, the client is having issues with their heat pump or their rooftop unit. What is our service history? When were we out here the last time? Okay, we've been out here 33 times regarding this particular work order. So that is one great thing regarding productivity that allows us to be seen from the field without the tech having to call into the office. The technician can then also get GPS directions to the client location. They can add internal notes as well as customer viewable notes. We have the ability to do punch actions. We have the ability to do manual start and end times. lump sum hours. We also pull from your assembly parts, inventory parts, and can add items on the fly. We also have the ability to create POs, quotes, and add new pieces of equipment. Even if we didn't install this hot water heater or this rooftop unit, we may still want to add it to the client history so that we can track service history from the field. We can also upload attachments. We have the ability to do custom forms. Forms can be created within the software. They're designed to take the place of any paper, PDF, or Excel-based forms. A lot of times we get questions in regards to preventive maintenance forms. So here we can come in and say, okay, on this rooftop unit, I need to fill out this PM form. And on that PM form, I can have it automatically pull in my client, my date, if I had had information regarding the serial number, things like that. Hey, did we change the filters? Did we check all the fluid levels? We can get signatures. We can upload pictures. We can then have this create a PDF that can be presented to the client if we choose to do so. If you would like to collect payment in the field, we have the ability to generate a service report at the end of the call where we can show pricing if you choose to do so. We integrate with Paya and Square, or you can use any additional third party that you would like to use to collect payment. Also on the dispatch scheduler, we have the ability to dispatch projects. So a lot of our clients do construction only. I did a brief demo this morning for a concrete company. They need to be able to have their field crews create time cards in the field and be able to designate that by project and cost code. And then they also needed to be able to do daily field reports at the end of the day. We communicate with your document control module in Sage 100 using RFPs, RFIs, and daily field reports. So here you have the ability to dispatch just at the project level or at the cost code level. So when we dispatch at the cost code level, we can tell the field person, hey, you're going to be going to this project. We can also give them further instructions. You're going to do this. Then the field person would have the ability to log in. They would see that assignment on their page. From here, they have the ability to clock in, clock out, including breaks and lunches. They can add manual activity. I worked from 8 to 10 doing this cost code, from 10 to 12 doing this cost code. We can also go in, depending upon your settings, and see general information about the project. So here, I can get GPS directions as well. I can see attachments and upload attachments. I can see general notes or the yellow notes about the project. I can create or view purchase orders, any work orders tied to this project, daily field reports, requests for proposals, change orders, requests for information, as well as custom forms regarding projects. I had a pool company and they wanted to be able to track materials. They didn't want to do work orders and have to mess with the whole 11.2 screen. They just wanted projects but needed a way to track materials. I created a pool material tracking list for them. That way they could go in and say, hey, I used 30 feet of PVC. They also had custom ladders, custom slides. We needed to know, was it customer standard? What was the serial number? We need to know that we've pulled this from the back. So this form gave them the ability to be able to track material without having to utilize a work order. In the software, you can also see the dashboard. The dashboard does give us visibility into work orders, as well as punch action activity, as well as GPS coordinates if you're interested in that. So on a productivity level, you would be able to see where were my guys and girls whenever they performed this action. Over on the right, this gives us information regarding work orders that have completed assignments and the work order itself is completed. So this tells me this work order is ready to be posted in Sage. Everything that I do within the software does feed back to Sage 100. So here on the 11.2 screen, I can pull up my work order. This work order, if I were to clock in and out or add hours or materials, it's going to feed back to the dispatch tab as well as the invoice details tab. That form that I created has attached itself directly here to the work order. Time cards are also a big selling point for this software. A lot of clients come to us and they're currently using paper time cards. They want to be able to process payroll faster. So here on Thursday, Tiffany worked at Trap and Motel and she did 3.5 hours of labor. She also did 3.37 hours at Williams Post Office and another 0.3 at Wood Elementary. If we needed to record any additional hours, so let's say on this work order itself, we go in and I'm just going to enter some lump sum hours. I worked today and I was here for 2 hours and I performed landscaping work, so that's where my labor needs to be costed. And we're also going to bill the client for 2 hours. And if I want to associate that with a piece of equipment, I worked on their rooftop unit. I click Save Labor. There's no importing, no exporting. That data goes automatically to Sage 100 once I refresh my screen. I now have 2 hours of labor. And in payroll, under Daily Payroll Entry, Tiffany on this work order has 2 hours of labor. On a project, depending upon if you're clocking in and out or doing lump sum hours, those hours go over automatically as well. So if I needed to record some project time, I have the ability on the simple side to just say, hey, I worked today at Jimenez Burrito. I performed this task and I did it from a manual start and end time or just some lump sum hours. I worked here for 3.5 hours. We can click Save. Those hours go to my time card. They also go directly into payroll. You'll see I had forced overtime turned on. Depending upon your settings, we can do forced overtime on projects. This does not apply to work orders. But here, so far, Tiffany has worked. She's been busy today. So here, this allows us to create an electronic time card within the software. So far, Tiffany today has this many hours. At the end of the week, so far, I have this many hours. All of this data is already in Sage 100. One of the things that a lot of our construction clients love about the fact that it sends directly to payroll, these hours are sitting here for you to run job costing reports so that if you need to see in the middle of the week, where are we on a certain project, you can run a report and tell it to look at uncomputed payroll. So it's now taking into account these hours that are against this project so that you can determine midweek, are we going to be over budget? Are we going to be under budget? Things like that. At the end of the week, your employee has the ability to click Submit Weekly Time. Now, as you've already seen, the time goes directly into Sage 100. There's no importing, no exporting, no pushing of a button. What this button does is it's an acknowledgement from the employee that, yes, I didn't get hurt, all my time is complete and accurate. You can customize this to make it say whatever you would like. You can have a week-ending van mileage. Hey, I drove a company vehicle. When I parked it, it had this many miles. And then the employee can sign off on their time card. Once they click Submit, a PDF time card can be generated and emailed to their supervisor so that they can review the time, make sure everything's complete and accurate, then notify payroll that everything is good. Obviously, every client has a different workflow. So depending upon your workflow, things may look a little different. The software does have somewhere around 100, 125 customized settings to allow us to set the software based on how you want it to work. Things like, are we creating work orders? If we are, what type of work orders are we communicating with? Are we tracking payroll labor? Are we tracking invoice labor? Are we communicating with attachments? On the job side, we have that ability well. So are we going to be talking to budgets or are we talking to all cost codes? Under time entry, here, so what is your payroll run? Are we tracking job time? Are we tracking work order time? Are we tracking sick, vacation, and holiday time? If we are going to use that submit button, Who needs to get a copy of that? Are we going to have the employee sign off on their time card? So the feedback that I've received from most clients is this has greatly impacted their productivity. They love the fact that the time cards are completely electronic, that they have audit logs for all of that. They love the fact that they can track job tracking midweek. They don't have to worry about payroll being posted. Are there any questions?
I haven't seen any come in. Does anybody have any questions? They can enter them into the chat feature and I can monitor those. Doesn't look like it.
Okay, so let me turn it back over to Eric 1 second.
Great. Thanks for all that, Tiffany. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. If anyone has any questions, they might have asked already in the chat here. If not, happy to follow up and send you my contact information with anything you liked today in the webinar, along with Tiffany's. So again, Tiffany's here for all our 100 contractor needs. We can definitely tailor demos to your specific needs, as we are aware that everyone's business is run a little bit differently and might be in some different type of work. So that being said, if there's no questions, you can hand it off to Amy, or we can jump off now.
Okay, if there's no questions, which it doesn't look like there are, we would like to thank everyone for taking time out of their day. Thank you so much for joining us.